Just so you know, I don't hit my woman. Instead of me to raise my hand and hit a woman, I would rather keep mute. I would rather be quiet. I would rather not talk to her for God knows how long, until she comes to that point of realization, until she knows that there is tension and she comes begging and she comes crying, and I'm going to think if it's fit for me to forgive her. This is what you will hear from men that are trying to play the good man card or the good man card, that they don't physically abuse their women, but rather they'll choose to keep malice. Before I go into how this malice dynamics can cause more harm than good, I would like to go into what I think is the root of this. I want you to know that times have changed. I know for some of you men, you grew up seeing this malice attitude from the men around you, your fathers, your uncles. You saw these dynamics in their marriage relationship, and you feel like that's the best idea when it comes to relating with a woman, or that's the best idea when it comes to resolving conflict. But I'd like to tell you that back then things were different. As at that time, the women had like little or no say in the marriage. If I'm going to talk about why it happened that way, it's going to be a different topic entirely. So I'm not just going to go into that. But I want you to know that the reason why these women were able to accept that level of treatment from their men was because of the little to no say they had in the marriage. But now things have changed. There is more social development. People are now more, women especially are now learned, and relationship dynamics have also changed. There are so many things now that women do in marriages that probably their mothers didn't do, because they didn't know to do these things during their time. Because of this change in relationship dynamics, communication is now very important. So if as a man you're choosing to, first, I don't understand why you want to inflict some level of pain on the person you claim to love. That is another aspect that I don't understand. Why, as a person, let me not even come to the men alone. While as a person, you would just want to inflict pain, either physically, emotionally, verbally, on the person you love. So let's leave that. So if you're thinking that the best way to resolve conflict with your woman is to go mute, is to go silent, that is a very bad dynamics, because it won't work. This is what you're not understanding. You're not understanding that when you go mute, when you go ghost, when you don't say anything to your woman, you're indirectly teaching her how to live without you. You're teaching her what peace feels like without you. And I can tell you that for some women, that period for them is a time to put more into themselves. So they end up seeing that they're actually doing better. They become more productive. This is the part you guys don't see. And I wish we can talk about this enough. I just wish we can always say this. For some women, they find out that that space makes them to be more invested in what they love to do. And you're doing it constantly. You keep letting them know that I'm not really that important in your life. So you as a man keep giving your woman this silent treatment. Is you telling her that I'm not really that important in your life? If I can go mute and you're excelling very well at what you're doing, you're more productive, then that means I'm not really that important. It's not our fault, but this is the message we get most times. And if you have a woman that is hammering on you for communication, that she's not veering off with, because of your silent treatment, she's actually asking you, what is it? Let's talk about it. Then I can say you're very blessed. Because trust me, just the way you don't have time as a man, you don't have time for any trash. That's the way women too don't have time. Like I said, things have changed. Just the way you're very ambitious, you want to put all your energy in your job, you want to have a very good headspace so that you can focus on life. That's the same way it is for a woman. So in this 21st century, communication in relationship is very important. Any matter that cannot be communicated, let me pause on that one. Communication is very important. There is no issue in your relationship that you cannot communicate amongst yourselves. There is no issue. For me, I feel any matter that cannot be communicated should rather just bring it close. And no matter how hard that thing is that you can't talk about, then everything should just come to a close. Because you can't keep bringing someone to that space where they start overthinking themselves, they start overthinking their worth. This is what silent treatment does. This overthinking your worth thing is not even for all women, but for a woman that really, really loves you, it can get to that point. And depending on how much she's really invested in you, can get to that point where she will start really overthinking her worth. Like, what do I really mean to this man? What do I really it gets to that point, but you guys don't know it. And now, another aspect to this conversation I want to have is a very amazing man out there now will be saying that women keep malice too, not just men. But I want you to know that women don't keep malice with their men as a punishment tool. They don't keep malice with men to punish them. Women don't do that. In the malice dynamics in relationship, men keep malice to punish their women. Women don't keep malice in relationship to punish their men. They do it to either bring the men to a point of realization that, see, this thing you've been doing that I've been talking to you about, it's really annoying me, and you are not making a change. Before a woman would choose to keep malice with you as a man, she would have, and you can attest to this as a man, you can attest to this. Before your woman chooses to keep malice with you, before she chooses to go mute, she had been talking about that thing for as many times as possible. So this is to say women don't keep malice with their men in relationship as to punish them. Men do it, and it needs to stop. If you accept you don't value your woman, you don't value your relationship. But as a woman, I'm also trying to tell you what this silent treatment thing or malice thing does to us women. It just shows us that you're trying to make us understand how living without you is, or how unnecessary your presence is. That is just what it shows. And I'm sorry if this stings your ego or it stings a part of you, but it's just the truth. If you can ask, you can do like an experiment thing. Ask several women how how silent treatment from their men makes them feel. You at least for most women you arrive at this conclusion. So if you really value your relationship and you value your partner, communicate. Communication is not only for the good times, it's not only for planning for the future. It's also those hard conversations. It's also those conflicts. Okay, I'm going to stop here, and I hope all I've said has brought you to realization as a man that silent treatment will not help your relationship, rather communicate.